and my beautiful wife, Cebula.
Yeah, but she was pretty much 15 going on 25.
I'm bringing our session into fruition today, and so we're meeting here from 12 until 12:30. And I would like to start our session today before our special guest to share a little bit about our names and our feelings. So if you can say your name and something you feel today.
Well, my name is McMurphy, and I feel like watching the Portland Trailblazers game.
Hello, McMurphy. We're going to do that after our session today.
But it's a big game against the Lakers. They're paying Puka Kovacic.
And after our special guest, who's going to also help us lead our therapy today. And how about you? So your name.
Go ahead, talk to her, Chesterfield.
Your name and your feeling.
I'm McMurtry.
Chester. McMurtry. And how do you feel today during our session here?
Feel funny.
Well, thank you for sharing that. All right. I think we're almost ready for our guest therapist today, Count Dracu. Dracu, are you ready to join the group?
We should have gone on that fishing trip. Oh!
Hey, Chester, you need to keep yourself in line during group therapy.
Now, Nurse Cratchit, you've made the error of calling me my former name. I am now Count Druku. Count Druku.
For joining us today. I appreciate it.
Yes, it is a pleasure to impart my therapist skills upon the peasantry.
So that we are able to appropriately share in the group.
I shall sit down when I want to sit down. Would anyone care for a little cognac to help loosen up the therapy session, perhaps?
Not an appropriate way, Count Druku, in order to
Thanks,
run
Count.
a therapy session, I must tell you.
There's a reason I got paroled over here.
You don't understand what the power of the dark side is. The dark side of the Force. Saucy Jack indeed. In fact, I'll show you some dark side. Let's see what happens when we visit this app. Because your therapy belongs in your heart. Your therapy belongs where you shall see. I have some exercises prepared. This scratch it here, my folder. Where'd I put my? I had a PowerPoint at least or something.
Got some cigarettes.
Can we get the PowerPoint going? Yes, we are. Yes, the south wing of the Damish Hospital in Salem, Oregon, and can I sense the Force perhaps can find these documents for me? Oh yes, here it is. I found one. Let me get this prepared. This if I was to so one of the therapeutic exercises we like to put forth. If I was to ask you 5 questions of what you did last week, could you tell me? Could you answer that? So can each one of you give me 5 different things you did last week, beneficial to the Empire and your mental health?
Yeah, well, I took my medication, and I came to the last therapy, and I lost all my cigarettes to Chesterfield here, and we took the bus, and we got everybody out on the fishing boat. You missed that, Dooku, and then you missed the big game with Chief.
Did you make it to Moe's? Moe's is a great chowder house. If you haven't been there, it's love it. Newport, Depot Bay.
Well, what we did was we mowed down the orderlies. We should call them disorderlies. They out there on the basketball court. Yeah, we mowed them down. Me and Chief.
Chief,
Chesterfield, of course.
Chesterfield's got a great jumper. Does Chief have relations to the great Sabonis? Is that what I'm to understand?
You got it now. You know your therapy. I can tell.
Well, isn't he a fortunate one to be related to such magnificence?
Yes. This
In
therapy
fact,
is starting to work. I'm levitating off this chair.
oh good. I hope you can feel it, because I feel he's not just a fortunate one, he might be a fortunate son. Begin. Begin. Where did my instincts go? They said something.
Give me
This
some
is
more
a
of those
fact.
pills in this, will you? The Great Dick Made Night on drums. Jeff Dodge. Said it ain't me.
Oh, the house is looking like a rummage sale, yeah! Cause amen! Amen! I know million souls! Amen! Amen! I know fortunate one, yeah! Alright, welcome. Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour, Season 10, Episode February 24th. If that is what your calendar says, you're with us live. So welcome. Thank you for joining us once again to the longest running monthly Variety Hour musical entertainment podcast out of Portland, Oregon from the Alberta Outs Arts District. I think we're the only one. The only thing of our kind. So welcome. Look forward to having you. And enjoy the next 1 hour of your time as we entertain you with thoughts and commentary. Just additional needless thoughts and commentary. So thank you for joining us. We hope you have a good time. And we'll see you in just a minute after this ad break. Fortunate one, and me, I know Senator's son. That's so high, got so damn high. Throughout the South, most of all, he turned out his dog and him. Traveled about, the dog up and died, the dog up and died. After 20 years, he's still grieved.
Starts getting like they do win streaks and they can beat these premier teams. You want to keep that going.
Oh, and we're back. We are back. My mic is behind my back, and now it's in front of me. Let me see if I can take a little manual control of the situation. It would involve turning the darn There we go. Okay, there we go. And welcome, everybody. This is the Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour. We're now in our 10th season. Very happy to be doing that. You will hopefully put together a 10th anniversary as well as start getting a lot of the syndicated ones out there. We're way behind. I think everyone, I don't know if how many of you out there know this, but there was a little thing called the pandemic that happened, and it kind of bumped a lot of people's schedules around and stuff. So we're a little bit behind on syndication. We hope to get there soon. In the meantime, what I was thinking I might take this opportunity to make a couple announcements and see if this little tricky works. Good. Okay, so we found out that tricky doesn't work, so we'll see if we can maybe reschedule this segment later down the hour. But we do have in the vicinity our great and wonderful Sonny Boy Curtis, the Commander, also known as the original Commander, is what I like to call him. And then Mr. Stephen Cebula, one of our main founding principal executives of this adventure, and also the treasurer. How are you, gents? How are you all doing?
I'm great. I just survived the tornado. A lot of you guys are fortunate sons because there was a tornado down not far from me. All right, I got excited about it, yeah. And, of course, from Oklahoma, and I lived in Tornado Alley, so I still have an occasional, like, nightmare about a tornado. But honestly, like, I don't know why, but a tornado in Oregon doesn't scare me. I'm like, let me take it on.
Basement shelter.
I'm up on the second floor in some apartments down a floodplain, so could always dive underwater.
Well,
yeah, so I'm lucky to be here because, of course, I was trying to avoid another call out, and so the tornado was just one of many obstacles. But I'm glad I made it. I'm glad to be here next to Steve. I haven't seen Steve in some while. Of course, I was over here working with you, Jeff. I've been seeing you punching out, vocals and a little harmonica for the Mason Jar Brain album coming out next month. I'm excited about that. And yeah, I'm like I said, I'm back in Portland. I'm hoping to make a bunch of shows this year. What season is this?
You're not going to believe it, but this is season 10 of the Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour. This is a decade. In May 24th, I believe, will be the 10th anniversary, won't it? Does that seem
so?
Right,
I have the top 10 list of Peasant Revolution related to-do items that I will be going through periodically. I'm not going to name all 10, but I'm bringing back the Burnside Bridge driving range.
The skate park or the...
I was calling it the Burnside Bridge driving range, and I want to be fair. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to be a little bit more... So we're going to bring skate park into the name. And yeah, we really want to get Nike and Adidas... or one of them, we want to have them duke it out to see who gets to, partner up with us, and we'll eventually be able to grow grass. I love to say that. Grow grass on the Burnside Bridge.
Green, Oregon.
Hit golf balls up there because, just tearing it down. We're going to have my lunch break out here. He's going to be pissed.
Do we have my lunch breaks sighting? Because I got to tell you, that guy...
Was he in Portland?
I don't know. I know that
he's not coming. It's up to us, Jeff. We're going to have to scope this out.
Okay, well, I guess it's Curtis is kind of the commander, Sonny Boy
Curtis, the commander, has let the cat out of the bag. We do have this upcoming album release, the Mason Jar Brain newest Peasant Revolution Band album, and I was realizing
Is Steve on it?
I think Steve's.
I
We have
didn't see
Steve
it.
is the primary bassist, and as usual, and you are of course the primary harmonicist, and then we have Matthew Rochford makes a guest appearance on bass on a couple tunes. We have Aaron Lane has joined us, as well
yes.
as Jamila Wilson, a ton of cameos, including the great Kathleen M. Cunningham, who is reportedly related to me. And
Back on track.
I
Gotta
did
keep those
wanna-
albums coming out of the trench digger.
Yes, and I did want to make a point of this that on that note, of course, I got a moment to put a session together with Rich Reese, and he I don't know how many know this, but he's been dealing with some health issues, and we're all we want to wish the best for Rich and send him our well, I wanted to put a little announcement in for the Caring Bridge site. I'm going to show you. This is a website that will tell you that information. You can make donations there if you're interested. So let's take a little quick silent look at that. I didn't get the audio on this part. So here. And now we're back, and well, I guess if let's not make it so morose that we can't give a lot of people the silent treatment. Is especially our lovely drummer Rich Reese, who man, we had a great session. It was really fun catching up with him. This is also another announcement. There's the support. This is Scott Peterson, friend of the show. He has a thing over here. Let's take a look at that. Okay, Steve, did we lose a viewer over that? No, it didn't lose a viewer. Okay, one more. Let's see. They're sticking around.
Let's viewer from that.
We lost a viewer. Oh, we got a viewer back. Let's see. Now, this, of course, is a slide of our young friend, and not just friend of the show, but producer of the show, director, musician, you name it, and of course was one of our early interns, not to be mistaken with the great Bob. We'll get back to that. Okay, here we go. This is Patrick was in the middle of a thing last weekend. Let's take a look at that. And yes, FFFO is what young Patrick is putting out there. So, there you go. That was some fun. I probably have liability over some advertisements that popped up over there. Imagine Art. I use Imagine Art. So, this is not a paid promotion, by the way. But if you want to change that situation, I'm open to it. Commander, Steve, do either of you have anything to add before I go to an ad break, perhaps? Then I think that kind of does. Back on this special intimate version, as they all are, of the Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour this February 24th, 2025.
There's a fifth viewer. Okay, we're picking up, and there's rumors we probably might have some chat issues here. Okay, we will be right back after this quick, brief commercial announcement. Maybe. Dun, dun, dun. There it is. Yeah, 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 yeah.
blood in the streets, it's up to my ankles. There's blood in the streets, it's up to my knee. Blood in the streets, the town of Chicago, she came. Blood in the streets, it's following me. Think about the break of day. She came and then she drove away, sunlight in her hair. Blood in the streets, turn a river of sadness. Hey! Blood in the streets, a river of sadness. She came. Blood in the streets, it's up to my thigh. Yeah, the river turns red down the legs of the city. I said the women are crying and the river's weeping. She came to town. She came to town and then she drove away. Sunlight in her hair. Solo. Indians scattered on Dawn's highway bleeding. Ghost crowd, the young child's fragile eggshell mind. Blood in the streets, it's the town of New Haven. Blood in the roofs and the palm trees of Venice. Blood in my love in the terrible summer. Blood on the roof of fantastic LA. Blood screams and blade as they chop off her fingers. Blood will be born in the birth of a nation. Blood is the rose of mysterious union. There's blood in the streets, it's up to my ankles. Blood in the streets, it's up to my knee. Blood in the streets, it's up to Chicago. Blood in the rose, blood is following me. She came and she rode away. Sunlight in her hair.
we are back. We are back here on the Peasant Revolution Band Variety Hour. I apologize for the delay on that transfer. We're having some technical issues with our commercials tonight. No biggie. Kind of the usual rigamorta, and yeah. What I was gonna say is that have you guys been watching the news at all or anything like that?
She does. I don't.
I've never been inside the center of a doom loop before, and it's sort of
You'd call it a doom loop.
Is it like the eye of the storm? Is it like when you're in the middle of a hurricane? Is it very calm?
It's very calm.
Calm.
Very calm.
There's a lot going on, Cal.
But
Takes calm.
Well, I was thinking
Doom loop.
it reminds me a lot of the
Gotta make
80s.
those.
Kind of. Where you guys remember the 80s a little bit, don't you? Especially here in Portland.
I remember what I was doing in the 80s.
You
well.
got here. What year was it? 80.
In the middle, 84.
84. Because what I was reminded of while I spent this time, I was recently had the privilege of participating in a world event at Astoria last night. So I'm a little bit under. I don't know how I describe it. I'm tired. I'm exhausted, but yet I'm still energized by it. It was a fun night, and mostly because I got to reconnect with a great old friend of Darge Productions and Trench Digger, Derek, Mr. Derek Eklund, also known as the voice Mr. E. If you ever have the time, you should check out our album Sunset Story, which I believe is one of your first participations on the albums
I
we've
remember
done,
it
Commander.
well.
Is that right?
I remember it well.
Yeah.
Yes, and Derek as well.
What are your memories about Derek and Sunset Story? Were there any overlap there? Because I always thought of Dirk Courtney in my mind was kind of an amalgamation of Derek and a little bit of, a guy named Courtney as well.
Yeah, I thought it was insightful without being too overt, and it was I mean great capture of the city, some of the icons. I think that's a formula that's ready to be revisited. You know, there's a little hint of that with McNemee Road.
Yes,
And
yes.
with some of the
and the creep van concept in general is very old school, Pacific Northwest serial killer kind of,
Well, these roads were made for creep vans. There's no doubt about it. Portland was a great city if you wanted to come out and experience cars. 100 years ago, they had the plank roads that would take you, all the way to, Hillsborough, the coast. You could go down to Salem, and you didn't have to wait for the train. For a quarter, you could be flying around town, getting high on moonshine, and so the creep van is just an extension of that, I think, and the pirates that came before, and all the there's great creep vans around town. Now there isn't a creep van lot yet. I don't think anybody's opened up a lot specifically for creep vans, but I've seen van lots. So if they stay there long enough, they could get pretty creepy.
I would say, why don't you reach out to that Jared dude from Subway Sandwiches? His family, they seem to get a lot of money for nothing, and so that's
honestly,
that might be a good donation to hit up, a grant perhaps.
That
Jared
actually
from
takes
Subway
me back
grant.
to the Salem asylum that we were just poking fun at. I don't want to go back there.
The old
No, and that kind of reminds me of the 80s too. I think that's when that stuff sort of, the seeds were planted there. That was about the time, I think, the satanic panic for all of its, foolery. It did steer things sort of like over the edge. And I would say like 5 years later, somewhere, between Jerry Springer and the big bald security guy, Steve. Somewhere in there.
Jerry Springer.
Yeah,
Steve
they fell off the
Wilkos,
edge.
yes.
No, I saw an old college buddy on the Jerry Springer show, and he had changed his name to Chaos.
Nice.
And he had stolen somebody's girl, and so he had to fight it out with them. And I specifically remember laughing and videotaping it on my VCR so I could show my friends, and thinking that this was kind of like, this was the end of that whole thing. I think coincidentally enough, I don't know, that's probably when did the internet really start? Is there a specific date that the internet started? It started for me in 2008, but I know it started like where it was AOL was not a thing for me. Did you have AOL?
I
Were you in the 90s?
I actually was really into computers as a youth. I was writing in BASIC on a VIC-20 originally, and then the Commodore 64, and then I started to learn that the coding vibe was not cool for me, because I spent weekends sometimes writing all this code. So I get this like computer magazine, and I would copy it word for word, just get you had to get the colons, everything just right. Lots of colons. It's like a colonoscopy practically. And you would have to get the quotations, and when you hit run, that was the magic moment. Did you type it in right? And to be honest, as a 12 to 15-year-old trying to use a typewriter with autocorrect, when you had the white tape cartridges, remember that stuff? And what they call that? Whiteout, whiteout cartridge.
White
and
tape.
they had like Dad had a fancy electric typewriter that was like that. Which by the way,
those typewriters were heavy.
Yes.
20 pounds, 25 pounds.
Yes, they were.
They weren't
heavy.
sexy like the old typewriters. There was that era there where they were just they were electric. You weren't even quite sure if it was still a typewriter. I remember, that was, but a lot of my friends had computers. I think when I was in college in the 90s, they started, the internet. I just was never really, I've been sort of waiting. So I don't know, but yeah, they're,
Well, see, I had this father. My father's name is Stu Dodge. He's been on the show before, and I just want to give a shout out. He just turned the magnificent age of 80, the big 80, and that's a lot of revolutions around the so-called planet. And happy birthday, Papa. Wishing that to you again, and we should go back to this place. No, I'm just kidding. We are not from there.
They shut it down in the 80s, right? Isn't that what they shut it down?
My theory is that they shut it down because of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes,
or Ken Kesey. But the problem was they didn't have a backup plan, right? And so
it was before Airbnb.
Everyone just hit the streets, and Baloney Joe's happened. Remember that? And so that's why so much of it seems very familiar.
I wish. That sounds good.
Baloney Joe's was a place on Burnside.
There's another asylum.
Another schoolyard insane asylum, which hopefully March 3rd, the release of our new album, Mason Jar Brain, you will understand a little bit better by what we mean by that. So we welcome you all to join us on our March 3rd premiere of our latest album since I Buried Saul. And Very happy to bring it to you.
Since Kent.
Kent, and also Kent was after Saul.
Kent was
wasn't
2021, I want to say, or 2020.
It was
2021.
we might have done
Yeah.
both the same year. I can't remember. Was it 2?
It might. Yeah, I was just looking at
It's
it.
a blur.
I know Saul was 2020.
I
Kent
know
was
Saul's
2021.
2020.
I couldn't remember, and it's been a minute though.
Well, and what I can't figure out is like who's running the city, because I get this like feeling like this.
Isn't Tina
Is it-
Koppel?
Well,
Ted
Tina
Koppel's
Koppel or Ted Koppel. I thought it was.
It's Ted Koppel's cousin Tina.
I heard a rumor. See, no one's seen this so-called mayor yet, from what I've heard. But
What's her name?
We now have a new Politburo running things, but apparently the new mayor's name is Dennis Wilson.
Is she hot?
I think it's Brian
Oh, it's
Wilson's
Dennis?
brother. I don't think he.
We got a Beach Boy.
Somehow, the drummer of the
Is the
Beach
dress
Boys
code
has
gonna
become our
change?
mayor. They faked his death, and
Okay,
our mayor
well,
is
calm
the-
down,
the-
Jeff.
I'm just saying, this mayor, he could
What are you
be
saying?
cool. He could be really cool. I don't
Or
know
what?
what to make of it. What do you think, Carmelo? Do you have an answer for that, Carmelo? What do you think of Mayor Wilson, Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys?
He's okay. He likes him, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna do a little something here. Let me bring this guy a little more this way, and we're gonna try and do an official representation and appreciation of the great Miss Roberta Flack, who passed away today. So this goes out to her, and we'll tip this mic over, which I've already done that. Okay, hang on. This is fun. It's always every which way you can tangle the cord. I always seem to find the way. So I gotta remember sharps, not flats on this one. But let's go see what our courtesy sit-in drummer from New Zealand in Australia, Dick Midnight. Let's see what he's got for us here.
in my whole life. This song, softly, this song. La la, la 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 killing me softly, softly is this song.
Thank you. You've endured another episode of the Peasant Revolution Band Drive Hour. So happy to have you this last Monday of the month, every last Monday of the month, until we're unable to stand or broadcast or stream or so much as we want to do anymore. Whatever happens, probably something will be happening. And we're so happy you can join us. And we'll see you next month, right after our March 3rd release of the new album, Mason to Our Brains. So, goodbye, good night, and good night, Miss Great Miss Roberta Black.
Killing me softly.